We're here with our friend Richard Toccato from the Richard Toccato Companies. And, you know, richer people have credit card bills, and they need to use that equity, don't they?
That's right. Use the equity in your home, restructure your debt, save yourself a bunch of money, and it's easy. We've got the instant equity. It's simple. They make you an offer. You can close in 4 days, get your money that quick. Ace, you've done it.
Yeah, I've done it. It'll change your life in virtually no time. Starts with a free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com. The Richard Toccato Company.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Well, today is a bit of an unusual day when it comes to the Meaningful Meeting. It's an unusual day for me, a day that I dread every year in some ways. And in some ways, I enjoy it because it gives me a chance to celebrate something that I'll never be able to celebrate the same way again. And I hope somewhere in here there's something special for you. Let's get the meeting started.
Whatever you're going through, you will get through it because you're here. And that means you are not alone. This is the Meaningful Meeting. Now your host, Ace Cannon.
Yeah, I dread this day. There are a couple of days every year that I really worry about. And this is one of them. And I'm going to do my very best. I'll do my very best to do my very best today, if that makes any sense. My name is Ace. If you're new to the Meaningful Meeting, never been here before, and simply this is a place where we come every week to kind of work on things that we're going through, because my belief is that we're all going through something, and maybe, just maybe, sharing that with someone in this capacity will help you, and that thought helps me. There are some similarities to all that we go through. But today is one of those days that I'm not sure, unless you've experienced the exact same thing, I don't think you can understand, and it's different. Both of my parents have died. My father died 12 years ago. My mother died a year and a half ago. And that pales in comparison to the death of a child. Because the given as you grow up is the fact that your parents are going to die one day. Now, obviously, it's different depending upon the age you are when they die. I was well into my adulthood when both of my parents passed away. But no matter what age, you're never prepared for the death of your own child. And it was almost 4 years ago that my daughter died. And today, July 3rd, today would have been her 25th birthday. In a small way, a milestone, the quarter-century mark, 25. Well into your adulthood at that point. And it's funny because I dread this day every year. I think about it a lot in the week leading up to it, quietly to myself. You think about it because, it's just out there. You know it's out there. It's hanging out there. It's coming because it should be a day of celebration. And I try to make it a day of celebration. I try to make it a good day. I try to make it a day where I think of all the great times that we have. And I do. But you're never going to escape the fact that it is what it is, so to speak. And I hate that phrase, but that's exactly true in this case. It is what it is. We'll never have another birthday celebration with her. Haven't had one since she turned 21. And therein lies one of the beautiful things, and I think it's important because I have a list. I'd gone through some comments on old Meaningful Meeting videos that were posted on YouTube, and one of them kind of stood out to me. And it said, wow, this hit home. This came 7 months ago after an edition of the Meaningful Meeting. Thinking about that one moment to cherish. It's hard, but we all have it. I enjoyed this segment. Your strength is something I admire. I really appreciate that. That's very kind. And I remember the episode of the Meaningful Meeting talking about that one thing, that one moment that you take from life at some point, and you cherish that moment and you hang on to that moment because the memory of that moment is what's going to get you through in dark times. Now, I am very blessed when it comes to my daughter that I have lots of moments. And I can call them up that quick. Lots of moments. But every year on this day, I remember the last day, the last birthday that we had with her, because she turned 21. It was 2020, COVID summer. I was living in uptown Charlotte with my then fiance, Amanda. We had a great place uptown, a little 2-bedroom apartment. Peyton lived right around the corner. And she came over, and 4 of her friends came. And we went to a very, very nice dinner at Fahrenheit in Charlotte. And she was 21, and her friends were 21, and we had drinks at home, and then we went to Fahrenheit and had a fantastic, expensive dinner. They all dressed up. She wore a glittery dress. And it was just the perfect evening. We walked back to our place. We played music. We sang songs. Everybody laughed. And then by 10 o'clock, they were all gone to her place to spend the night. And I remember sitting outside on my balcony and thinking about what a perfect night it was. Looking out over uptown Charlotte, about how fantastic it was. Not one single thing went wrong. And I had no way of knowing in that moment that 3 weeks later, she would no longer be here with us. But that's the truth. And that's the way life works. And that's why you cherish those moments so tightly, so closely. You hold them close to you. That's why I say those are the moments that are going to get you through. Because it's the truth. And it's funny. Peyton and I had braces at the same time. I was 47 years old when I got them. She was 15 or 16. But today at 9 a.m., I got this message from her orthodontist. Your orthodontic team wishes you a very happy birthday, because we used my phone number, on all of her information. I have 4 messages from the orthodontist. 2 to me this year and last year on my birthday. This is a new phone. And 2 to her this year and last year on her birthday. And that always makes me smile. There are a lot of things about her that make me smile. One of which is the fact that we have a charity that is now named after her, Peyton's Promise. And I say this all the time because I want people to know. I want people to understand the depth of brotherhood and the depth of love that was shown to me by the Ace and TJ Radio family, and in particular, everybody that works on this show. And most in particular, TJ, because it was his idea to rename our charity Peyton's Promise in honor of Peyton when she died. I had no idea that had happened. And it's such a very special thing to me, and appreciated more than I could ever put into words for everybody to understand. But we have this charity, and it just seems odd. This is that time of year, and it always works out this way. This is that time of year that we really begin a big push for the end of the year, for our golf tournament that's coming up November 11th, the Ace and TJ Golf Tournament, Northstone Country Club, November 11th, for breaking and entering Christmas, which is a massive undertaking that happens every year. We start the week after Thanksgiving. We start dropping those first Christmases in people's laps. They have no idea it's coming. And ideally, they would never know who is involved. And I always find it interesting that here we are on July 3rd, her birthday. And one of the big things that we need to be promoting and talking about through our various forms of media that we have is Peyton's Promise. It's almost fitting. We used to, at Christmas, she helped with breaking and entering Christmas a few times. We went a couple of times on the breaking and entering Christmas trips to people's homes to help do stuff. And then a lot of times, every year we would take a name or two from our area, people who had been nominated but weren't selected, but were still in need. And I've told this before, and I don't tell this story like, oh, look what we did. I tell this story to say what a cool experience it was for me as their parent. But we would go and just anonymously maybe drop off like a Target gift card to somebody at their house or something like that. And I know one time we got up one morning early and went to Dunkin' Donuts and we got a dozen donuts and we taped a $500 Target gift card to the top of it. And we went to this house and I said, I'm going to pull up. And when I do, go up to the door, knock on the door. When they open the door, just say, Merry Christmas. Hand them the box of donuts. And when they take it, just leave. Just walk away. I'll be sitting right here at the end of the street. She was okay. At the end of the driveway, rather. She was okay. And I can still see her running back down that sidewalk and down that driveway. She jumped back in the car, and we just took off. She was like, that was awesome. That was awesome. They were totally surprised. Now, they didn't even know what had happened. We don't know. We never saw what happened. We never saw if they were scared, if they were freaked out. I'm sure they were a little freaked out. We don't know what it looked like when they opened up and realized there was a gift card from Target in there for a family who was desperately in need at Christmas. That wasn't important. The important thing was we helped somebody. We helped somebody who we knew needed it. That was the lesson I wanted her to learn. It's not about getting anything from them. It's about the giving. The giving is the key. And I was always very proud of her because I knew in those moments she got it. She understood that. She was well aware of what was happening. Yes, I get it. It's about the giving, the helping. That's what's most important. So I don't want to belabor the point. I don't want to make too much out of today because there's an even tougher day coming. July 29th is the hardest day of all the year for me, hands down. July 28th is no cakewalk because that was the last time I saw her. But today would have been her 25th birthday. And she'd love to participate in all of our activities and all of our stuff. She was hoping one day to be able to go on an Ace and TJ's Grin Kids trip once she got to be 21. There were a lot of things that she wanted to do. And a lot of them involved, being a part of helping through our various charities. And now we have one named after her. So, if you are looking for a way to be involved in life and helping others, we would love to have you as a person, as a family, as a business. We're always looking for sponsors for our golf tournament, sponsors for Breaking and Entering Christmas. Those are our two big pushes right now. We're always looking for volunteers. And obviously, like every other charity in the world, we're always looking for donations. You can find out everything at Peyton'sPromise.org. It's PaytonS.org. As always, we appreciate it very much. We appreciate you very much. And I will always appreciate you for the love that you've shown me in the wake of the tragedy that befell my family. Because a lot of people go through the same thing. And that's why we're here every week. But more than anything, I hope the one thing that you'll always remember is the reason why we have the meaningful meeting. And that one day you will tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through now. And it will become part of someone else's survival guide. And I hope somewhere in me just talking about my daughter today, I've given you a little bit of something that's going to help you get through the next few days or the next week. Or maybe just giving you the idea to help with Peyton's Promise is enough to get you going. Because some days I think it's the only thing that keeps me going. See you next week.
Now, whatever you're going through, you're not alone. You are a part of the Meaningful Meeting, presented by the Radio Network. Copyright ATJ Inc. 2022.
Our friend Richard Toccato from the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and we're talking about home improvement. That doesn't just mean like my wife thinks our home would improve if I left it. That's not what that means, is it?
Yeah, for Jody, that would probably help her out. But for everybody else, we need a sun deck or they want a backyard kitchen. It's an easy phone call to 704-800-4719 or log on to homewithrichard.com.
Now, you've got the money in your home. Let Richard find it. HomeWithRichard.com. It's the Richard Toccato Companies.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.